Today we have a Twitter question from Carl_the_Carter at Kale29_MB. Furufinance, a video idea is to make it clearer for newer investors what the point of owning HEX before the launch of Pulsechain is. How will your situation be different if you own HEX by then versus if you don't? And do you need HEX to buy PulseX if you miss the sacrifice? Kale29_MB, Carl_the_Carter. Thank you for your question, and thank you for asking me on Twitter. I don't get much engagement there. If you own HEX now, when Pulsechain launches, it will be copied over onto the Pulsechain, meaning you will have HEX on Ethereum and you will have HEX on Pulsechain. If you wait till Pulsechain launches to buy HEX, then what you buy HEX with will only be on one chain or the other. So that's how your situation would be different, would be you would only have HEX on one chain if you buy it after the launch, versus now you can get it on both chains, and it is down 90%. So I think it's an excellent opportunity to start buying. As far as needing HEX to buy Pulsechain or PulseX, a lot of people are planning on buying HEX now and leaving it liquid so that when Pulsechain launches, they can swap their copy over for Pulsechain or PulseX because they missed the sacrifice. So during the first 2 days, there is going to be no bridge. So you cannot bring over your stable coins or any other ERC20s to trade for Pulsechain or PulseX. So a lot of people are just waiting for the launch, and then they are going to take their copied over liquid HEX and dump it for Pulsechain or PulseX because they missed the sacrifice. So that's why people say that you would need HEX to buy Pulsechain or PulseX if you miss the sacrifice, but that's actually not true. Obviously, if you have any ERC20 during the Pulsechain launch, it will be copied over and you can trade that for Pulsechain or PulseX as well. And in fact, in my opinion, if you check out my Pulsechain launch strategy, which I suggest you do, I don't think buying HEX and keeping it liquid is the best strategy for getting Pulsechain and PulseX. And the reason why is because, one, we're in a tight monetary policy in which cryptos are not performing well. So let's say Pulsechain launches in a couple months, you could have only a fraction of the buying power that you have now. So you're at risk of the volatility of the crypto markets, which is one issue I have. Another issue is the fact that everyone's doing it, so it is likely you're not going to get a good rate. Also, I don't think it's good for the price of HEX. I think if everybody is waiting for their copy so they could dump it, I think that's not good for the price, which is why, in my opinion, I think the best play would be to do stable coins, because stable coins, you don't lose your buying power. You're not at risk of the price depreciation that could occur between now and when Pulsechain launches, because stable coins retain their purchasing power. It stays at $1. You also get it copied over ERC20. It may or may not get you a better rate than HEX, but it will obviously have the safety and security of the stability, provided that it keeps its peg, which is why you have to do your own research and buy a good stable coin. It is also good for the HEX price. Another issue with holding HEX liquid is that it is not staked. So between now and when Pulsechain launches, you will not be earning the interest from locking up your HEX and staking it. So I think if you want to hold HEX and have it copied over, it should be the HEX that you plan on holding staked. If not, you should be buying stable coins because you are not at risk of the volatility between now and when Pulsechain launches. You will not lose value, although yes, it can appreciate, but had you planned on holding HEX liquid since May, when people originally thought Pulsechain would have launched, you lost 50-75% of your buying power. So also, you are going to get a copied over ERC20 of the stablecoin you are holding, which you can swap for Pulsechain and PulseX on the first 2 days of launch. And you can also bridge in your stablecoin and dollar cost average once the bridge opens. So to summarize, I would say yes, you should be buying HEX now, so you should have it on both chains, but I do not think it should be held liquid in order to swap for Pulsechain and PulseX, because one, cryptos have been going down lately, so I'd say you're at risk of the volatility and losing your buying power. Two is everybody's doing it, so you're likely not going to get the best rate. And three, it will not be earning its yield because it's not staked, and the entire point of HEX is to earn yield on it. So you can increase your position and have it locked up so that you don't get suckered into selling too early. With the money that you have that you plan on buying Pulsechain and PulseX, I think the best play, not financial advice, do your own research, would be stable coins, because stable coins maintain their purchasing power. You get copied over a PRC20, which you could swap during the first 2 days, and you also get to bridge in your stable coins and dollar cost average. Carl, thank you for your question. I hope other people could ask me questions and tag me on Twitter. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, and check out my other videos. Thank you.